Until one day my NFL player friend was like, bro, you are miserable. You are depressed. He was like, you know what? Just come and work for me as my butler, my housekeeper, whatever we can call it, to get you out of this misery. I was like, bet, sign me up. I packed my bags and I went to Ohio to be a butler, a house manager, a housekeeper. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, Real Talks with John. As always, make sure you subscribe so that you can keep getting this good content. So in my last video, I talked about how I quit my career as a speech language pathologist. I didn't just quit a job, I quit my entire career, and how I found peace of mind at the end of that tunnel. I talked about one of the specific reasons why I left that career. And there were several different reasons, but there was one major issue that was plaguing my entire 8-year career. I ultimately decided to leave it, despite the fact that it was a very lucrative career, despite the fact that I had already worked my way up to the complete top by obtaining my doctoral degree and getting my business. It just wasn't serving me. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. I was angry, and I just kept battling this feeling of being done. If you haven't already, go back and check out that video. But if I'm honest, I never was really sold on working in the career because it wasn't my passion. It wasn't the thing that I felt this burning desire to do. I felt like I was going to be able to flourish in the career. There were certain aspects that I liked about the career, but I wasn't sold on doing it because it didn't meet the desires of my heart. I wasn't completely passionate about it, and we'll get to that later in the video. But one of the major concerns that I had when I was having feelings of leaving my career and eventually knew that I was going to do it was my lifestyle. You know, I like taking trips. I like taking trips out of the country. I like the liberation of being able to buy whatever you want. I live in a nice place. I like the comfortability of being able to get the things that you need, go to the store and buy the things that you want. And let's be honest, bills. You know, I live in LA, you know, where gas is almost $5 and the rent is expensive. It is expensive. The bills still have to be paid. So how do you leave your job but still be able to buy the things that you want, live almost the same lifestyle, and pay your bills? That was my major concern. You know, and I had these feelings of, okay, am I gonna have to downsize? Am I gonna have to give this up? Am I gonna have to not have the same lifestyle that I had before? Let's face it, we live in flex culture. You get on Instagram, you get on social media, and it's almost shoved in your face. Everyone has showing off the gifts that they're buying, and the nice house and the nice car, and it forces you to also want those things or make you work toward getting them. On top of flex culture, we live in hustle culture where you sleep when you're dead, and it's all about working hard and grinding and getting, and it's never enough. So you get caught in this web of, okay, I can't quit my job because I'm not gonna be able to have the things that I need and want, based off of maybe not even expectations that you have for yourself, but the expectations society has for you. It causes you to live above your means, want things that you don't necessarily need, sometimes get things that you don't necessarily need. And the thought of quitting a career, quitting a job, means that you will have to give that up if you can't find something that's comparable to your career. And I was making 6 figures. So it was like, what else can I do that's gonna give me the same amount of money? I became comfortable. The thought of leaving my career was great. There were days where I just lived in this fantasy of, I have this wonderful job and I'm gonna be doing this and I'm gonna be doing that. And it's like, you wake up every day and you still gotta clock in. And you face the reality that I am probably gonna be at this job for a while. But for me, it was just this feeling of misery year after year after year. And I kept talking about, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna do this. I'm having these conversations with my friends about how miserable I am. I'm pretty sure they are tired of me talking about it even now, but I was just infatuated with this idea that there's something else. There has to be something else out there. I have gifts, I have talent, I have other passions. I have to do something else, because if I continue to do this every day, I'm going to lose my mind. I was working in this career that was offering me financial benefits, but not giving me any emotional gain, any mental gain. My quality of life was terrible. If you talk to any speech language pathologist, they will tell you, you will be burnt out. I mean, I was working from sun up to sundown. I was working my full-time job, then I would leave and I would work at another job for 3 hours, and I did that 6 to 7 days a week. And any speech pathologist will tell you, when we clock out at the end of the day, our work is still not done. We have tests that need interpretation. We have reports to write, so much paperwork to do that your work isn't done until you're about to go to bed. So I'm miserable. And on top of being miserable, things are happening in the career that are exacerbating those feelings of misery. And then I have to work extremely hard. My mentor would always say, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. Well, I definitely felt like I was working. You're constantly told, well, Jonathan, you're making such a great benefit on your patients and your clients and your students, and you're pouring into their lives. But what I realized was I spent my entire 20s pouring into other people, sometimes people that were extremely ungrateful, and did not see the hard work that I was pouring into them or their families. I'm pouring so much into everyone else's life with little time to pour back into mine. Little time to pursue hobbies, little time to go out and enjoy your friends and your family. There were times when I had not seen my family physically for 2-3 years. So I'm devoting all of this energy into a career that I loathe with very little return, with no gains for me. And what I've learned in life is your quality of life, your happiness, your mental health is the most important thing. What does it profit you to work to the bone, work to death, and then at the end of the day, the only reward you have is money? Especially when you're working at a job that you don't like. You're making all of this money, but you're getting it at a job that you hate, from a job that isn't serving you, that isn't serving your true passions, your true purpose. What's the point? So I will go to work pissed. I would be at work pissed. I would come home pissed. If my car could talk to you, it will say,
bro, get this dude some therapy, like ASAP.
And I tried that. I tried going to therapy. I tried meditation, taking trips. I tried lots of different things to patch up those feelings of unhappiness. And it gives you temporary satisfaction, but then you realize, I got to clock in tomorrow. I have to do this every day. And the thought of doing this until I was 60 years old, 70 years old, or whenever they say we could retire, that added on to the depression. I was saying every year, I'm going to quit. I'm going to leave. I'm going to pursue my passion. I'm going to do it. But then you realize, I'm stuck in this rat race because I still got to pay bills. I still want to maintain my lifestyle. But then I got to the point where I was like, what is it worth? So I'm on alternative career groups on Facebook and Instagram. I'm constantly searching for a way out. It was me and Indeed every day. What's up? I'm back. What you got for me today? Y'all got something for me? I'm constantly looking for the best job. I'm constantly looking for a way out, until finally one day I was like, you know what? I don't care how much money I make. If I have to downsize, I'll do it. If it means giving up something, if it means not being able to buy something nice, if it means that I don't get to go out as much or buy all the things that I want, I'll do it. I'll take it. So I applied for a job as a baker. Now listen, I love baking. Nothing wrong with the career, but it wasn't going to give me what I was making in my career as a speech pathologist. But I didn't care. So I went on Indeed, I applied for the job, and I went to the interview and they were like, you don't have enough experience. Can we talk about the depression? Can we talk about the disappointment on the way home? I just knew that job was mine. I'm like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna sell myself, I'm gonna tell them all about my baking skills. I'm gonna tell them I can make you the best cake that will make you forget about all your troubles. Trust me, I'm from the South. We know what we're doing in the kitchen. But they told me I did not have enough experience. I just went back to complaining until one day my NFL player friend was like, bro, you are miserable. You are depressed. He was like, you know what? Just come and work for me as my butler, my housekeeper, whatever we can call it, to get you out of this misery. I was like, bet, sign me up. I packed my bags and I went to Ohio to be a butler, a house manager, a housekeeper. I enjoyed it. I had this renewed sense of happiness. I woke up every day with joy in my soul and a song in my heart, and I cleaned and I worked and I did what I needed to do. I was happy. There was no second thought of, I should be going back to work doing speech therapy. I was like, forget it. Until one day I realized, okay, this is great. He was paying me great, but I still need to be pursuing my purpose. I still need to be pursuing my passion. So I went back to LA. I devised a plan to get out of my career, and I knew that I needed to save money. So I started saving money. After this renewed sense of freedom and liberation and happiness of being a housekeeper, returning back to work was difficult. I was like, I have to go back to this? I remember telling my best friend, I'm giving myself 3 months. After that, I don't care how much money I have saved. I have to be done with this. I have to be out because there is no way I'm going to be able to continue like this. She was like, what is wrong with you? It can't be this bad. I'm like, sis, it is that bad. I can't do this for another 6 months. I can't do this for another year. I have to be done. I continued working and started stacking. I made the decision that it's time to pursue my passion. My passion has always been being an actor. I remember my first time being on stage at 6 years old. It felt like home. When I hit the stage, I knew this was the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. This is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life. I want this, I need this, and this is what I'm going to do. I would always tell people, when I graduate from high school, I'm going to Los Angeles and I'm going to pursue my career as an actor. I said that so much that one day my mom was like, you're serious about this? She's a teacher. Hearing that, it was like, okay, she gave me reassurance. She said, Jonathan, you are talented. You can make it. But listen, that is a career that's not guaranteed. So her being a teacher told me, you need to go to college first and do something that's guaranteed. Get a career and make acting your fallback plan. She instilled the importance of education. No one can take that from you. No one can take your degree away, and you'll always have something to rely on. You'll always have something to fall back on just in case this career doesn't work. Eventually, I was sold and I did it. So I went to school. I got my bachelor's. In my field, the master's degree is the entry level. So I had to get the master's. Then you get the master's. Your first year, you have to do an internship year where you're working under a supervisor. And then after that, you want to work to make the most money and to build your resume. So I kept working and working and working until I realized I have no time to pursue my passion to be an actor. The thought of pursuing it just felt like an idea that was far-fetched. I kept having these thoughts of, one day it'll happen. Maybe somebody will see me in a store. They will discover me. And I kept waiting for this opportunity to come along that never came along. I kept working this job that I didn't like while hoping and praying that I could have this career as an actor, but it never happened. If I'm not pursuing the thing that I love, what's the point of life? I worked in a profession where we work with elderly patients all the time. I worked in hospitals and nursing homes. I have conversations with them and I ask, what is the essence of life? What brought you joy? What brought you happiness throughout your life? And I guarantee you that none of them are saying racks on racks on racks. I'm making money. I'm in this 6-figure career, but I'm not happy. I remember I started pursuing my career as an actor really hard, and we'll talk about that more in detail on later videos. But I started pursuing my career as an actor. I got an agent, thankfully, and I remember my first time being on a set. And I was there for 16 hours, but it never felt like work. I left there at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and I didn't want to leave. I cried in my car because I had this joy in my heart. Like, finally, I found something that's making me happy. I woke up the next day rejuvenated and excited. I need more of this. I need to keep doing this. So I quit my career. I quit my career more specifically because there were issues. But I quit my career because I knew deep down in my heart that I had passions to do something else. I desperately needed to exercise my creativity. I felt liberated. I had come to the edge of this cliff, and behind me was my career. This stability, this money, this longevity, and knowing that I had worked extremely hard. But in front of me was uncertainty, but happiness. I remember watching this podcast. The guy talked about how pursuing your passions are great, but it's high risk, high reward. Working your 9-to-5 job, being in your career that you possibly don't like, that's a low risk, low reward. And you have to decide which one you want. I'm going with high risk, high reward. So I jumped off that cliff. I knew that I needed to continue to work. I knew that I had to continue paying my bills. I didn't want to rely on anyone. I saved money up and decided to take a job working at a casting office as an office assistant. For the first time in a long time, I felt happy about going to work. I felt happy about waking up every day and doing something that I enjoyed. It gave me a renewed sense of self. My quality of life was 1,000 times better. And as fate would have it, as I was working in the office, I came across this entertainment lawyer. We're talking, we struck up a conversation, and he's like, what do you do? Where did you come from? And he was so shocked that I was working as an office assistant when I had a doctoral degree, when I had been working in this profession for 8 years. I don't know if he felt sorry for me or he was impressed with my resume, but he was like, you know what? I am in need of a personal assistant. I think you would be great working for me, and I'll pay you whatever you want. And it was a blessing in disguise. Working for him has been great. I get to work in the industry that I desire to be in. I have time to pursue my acting on the side, and it's wonderful. It's so weird because our society, we praise hustle culture so that we can obtain flex culture, and we also praise this notion of suffering. Staying at a job that you hate, being miserable, not doing things to make sure your peace of mind is okay. I don't understand that. Suffering should not be a requisite to appreciate things, to have a good life. It doesn't make sense to me. Wanting to rest and do things that you enjoy, going to a job that you like, that you love, that you're passionate about, should not be a foreign concept. Should not be something that seems unattainable. I can't tell you how many articles I've read where it's like, you can have both. It's one or the other. We have to find the good and the bad. It's about making a difference in life. And it's like, really? Okay. I lost my mother to breast cancer. Her and my father are the hardest workers I have ever come across. Unfortunately, she passed way too young, but she dedicated her time, her attention, her life to teaching. She was a middle school teacher. She absolutely loved her job. It brought her so much joy. It was truly her passion. But when she died, what I found so compelling was a couple days later, somebody else was in that seat. Somebody else was in that classroom teaching those kids. I'm pretty sure she had other desires. She had other things that she wanted to do. I reflect on that so much. Should I be devoting time and attention to a career that I don't feel is serving me, that I absolutely detest? And when my life is over, will I have found meaning in it? Was helping people enough for me? It sounds like a selfish idea, but What is life if you're not happy about where you are and what you're doing? My advice to anyone who is facing similar feelings, or working at a job that they hate, or just wanting to pursue their passions, create a plan, devise a plan, save money, figure a way out. Don't focus on money. Don't focus on lifestyle. Focus on your mental health. Focus on quality of life. Quality of life means being more happy. Life is short, make it sweet. Live with purpose. Do what makes you happy, whatever that is. Do what you want and what you enjoy. Your quality of life does not depend on what you earn, but what you make of it. How happy you are going to sleep at night, feeling fulfilled about what you get to do when you wake up in the morning. That's what quality of life means. If you're not getting that, you need to find out why. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And again, I will see you next time. Bye.